Titus, stand up. Isn't she beautiful? Yeah, she was born in Montana. She looks like a Montana girl. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. She began singing before she could talk and won her first talent show when she was only 4 years old. She had classical piano lessons. She started an all-girl band in junior high school called the Crickets, and she bought her first drum set with money earned by working in a drive-in restaurant. She graduated eventually from Twin Falls High School, and early gigs that she became involved with Mike Windling, Carter Wilson, and Moosey Braun. You know the Braun brothers? Yeah, okay, from the sister, I guess. They won national auditions for the USO to support America's armed forces through music. They toured through Alaska during the harsh winter of 1968 before Mike was drafted into the Marine Corps. So she learned to accompany herself, and she continued performing with the USO throughout the world, including South Vietnam. She won the titles of Miss Twin Falls, Miss Idaho, and represented Idaho in the Miss American pageant competition. She was also voted Miss Congeniality and Miss Idaho pageant. She joined the Freddie Powers show in Nevada and later toured with Buck Owens and the Buckaroos. Anybody remember them? Yeah, she toured with them. Woohoo! She opened shows for Ray Charles, Alabama, Merle Haggard, Hank Williams Jr., Mel Tillis, Rick Nelson, Jerry Lee Lewis, Barbara Mandel, the Bellamy Brothers, Jerry Reed, Lacey J. Dalton, Jim Stafford, and Chubby Checker. How's that for a history? Boy, I hope you've written a journal, girl. She lived in Germany for 2 years, performing at different places there, and as a member of Northern California's Band of the Year, Wichita Express, she was voted Female Vocalist of the Year by Northern California's Country Music Association. She's got quite a long history here, and I'm running out of breath trying to read it all, so I'm going to kind of let you all, but I do have to say this last one. Diane performed regularly in California and Nevada, including a performance at Harrah's Casino for the gala premiere of a Clint Eastwood movie, Pink Cadillac. She's been a lifetime member of a life member of Associations of Vietnam Veterans of America. Her husband Ron, which is here, please stand, is a life member of Vietnam Veterans of America, and he serves as vice president of VVA Treasure Valley Chapter 1025. Folks, these two are two of the most patriotic people you'll ever meet that support all of our veterans. We love them. So I'm going to turn this over to Diane, and if you have questions afterwards, then fine, here she is.
Wow. Gee whiz, that's humbling. Thank you very much, Sue, and I feel so excited to be here today. I honestly told my husband as we were here, driving here, I said, we're doing another USO show today. This is so great, and you're my military escort. I'm the troop. Because we always had a military escort, and I have to ask a question if I may, and well, actually, first of all, I have to tell you, I'm just so excited, I'm sorry, and I'm one of these like side conversation people. I get distracted easily and all that, so forgive me. I'll try to stay on point. But first of all, I have to tell you how much I appreciate you being here this morning, and I don't want to get teary because I appreciate the fact that we're looking at each other years after we were all in the same place, and I appreciate what you did, and I want to tell all of you, thank you. Thank you very, very much for my freedom, and thank you, and welcome home. Appreciate it. And then I have to ask one quick question, if I may. Is Carmelita Pope here today?
No, she couldn't drive.
Okay, because I saw, if you haven't seen it, there's a display about Carmelita back here, and it's really, really amazing. And I was hoping to see her today because I thought it would be like meeting Bob Hope for me, because she's a USO performer in South Africa during World War II.
She's in Italy.
Or in Italy, yeah, and then there was something about Africa, so I was just hoping to meet her today. And anyway, Barry Hill, I want to thank Barry for helping me with this. We put some pictures together. Thank you, Barry. You're my parachute. Okay, so Barry took all these pictures and put them together for me, and When I went on USO, I'll just start here. My name was Diana Hopperstad, and for all of you Norwegians, that was my daddy's name. And so I kind of concentrated more on Vietnam, but I'll just do a little quick summary of some things for you. If it were not for this man, I would never been on USO. For those of you who lived in Idaho all your life, or maybe lived in Utah, you may have heard of Eugene Jeleznik. Has anyone heard of Eugene? Oh, great. I'm so glad you did. That gave me shivers. Eugene Jeleznik was actually like a celebrity in Utah. He dealt with the Salt Lake Philharmonic Orchestra. He had a talent showcase talent show, and it was on television. Well, there I was. I think I was 18 years old, and I saw the talent show every Sunday. And this one time, I saw this banner over some of the performers on there that said USO. And I thought, what in the heck is that? Because watching all the old shows, remember those beautiful shows, patriotic shows with Bing Crosby and Martha Ray, and just all these wonderful movies that instilled the love of our country and serving our country and encouragement in patriotism. I wanted to do USO. God must have placed that in my heart, because otherwise I don't know where it came from, but I wanted to do it. And I saw that USO banner and thought, what the heck? So at that age, I figured out how to find out about that television station, and Utah called, and Eugene's wife got on the phone with me because the show was taping, and she had me sing on the phone, and she said, I'm setting up an audition with Eugene. Like, okay. And later I found out that Eugene got upset with Virginia because he said, how do you know what she even looks like? You've got this girl coming, we don't know anything about her. But at any rate, Eugene auditioned me, and I had a partner at that time, a music partner, and I call him my god brother because he was not my biological brother. But he was given to me by God as the most wonderful, encouraging brother, and he influenced my music. We just lost him in January of last year. And in fact, today is the 3rd. Yeah, it would be this week, a year ago. Oh, closer?
Yeah, we can't hear.
Oh, okay. Thank you. If I get too loud, do this, please.
It's not too loud.
But if I get too low, then just kind of like... Because I'm used to getting this. So it won't offend me, but I don't want my voice to like hurt you either. Thank you, Sue. So anyway, Michael Wendling was my music partner at that time. I don't even remember how we started doing music. It must have been in high school. But we went to audition for Eugene Jeleznik, and my stepdad drove us there to Salt Lake. And we won an audition to be put into a larger audition for USO, where the New York people were going to be coming out, and it was a big gala event. And they chose 5 acts. And we were one of the 5. We were the last name called. We're standing there so nervous, and finally go, Mike and Diana. Woo, we're so excited. So that's Eugene. And notice even right here, I can't believe at 18 years old, we got to be in a Pops concert with the Salt Lake Philharmonic Orchestra in Salt Lake City. That was a big deal for us, you guys. And here was Mike and me. That's me and Michael Wendling. And so that's where it all started. And here was our first tour, Alaska, winter of '68. I'm telling you guys, I was terrified. I still don't like to fly. I never have. And we flew in one of the worst winters they'd had in a long time. And so every day we waited we rode in these Goonie birds here. But here's Mike, and here's me, there's Eugene, Billy Lucas, our military escort, Sharon Folger, Larry Banks, and oh gosh, all of a sudden her name escapes me, forgive me. But anyway, so we were waiting to see if we could take off. So that's what we did every day there. And there's another picture. There we are, sitting on the floor. They gave us all this gear because the Goonie birds were not heated, and they weren't pressurized. So, and we sat on the side, as you can, on that, I guess there'll be the next. We sat on the side here, see, and that's into the cockpit there, but they gave us all this gear to wear to keep nice and warm. And sometimes I felt like if I touched my nose, it was going to break off. And this is the terrain that we flew in. And so I have to tell you, yes, Vietnam was scary, but Alaska was one of the most frightening tours I was ever on because of the conditions and the flying every day. We had these incredible pilots. Thank you for you military pilots, because I don't know how they found where we were supposed to go. I told Barry, as he took these pictures, that as I looked at them at home when he sent them to me, see that? There's a satellite. And sometimes we would fly in and we'd go to these white Ellis communication bases, and sometimes we had to fly kind of upward, sometimes downward. It was really something. How did they know how to get us where we were supposed to go? And like that too. And then I noticed in this one, if you look closely right here, there's a satellite right there. Isn't that amazing? Or a tower or whatever it is. But that's what we flew in every day in the Goonie Birds. Up to Nome, Lucian Islands, all over the place there for 8 weeks. Here's Eugene playing. He was a child prodigy, and he was playing his, he'd play more fiddle style for everybody because they loved it. And we had a 7-piece group. You'd perform, I'd help you, you'd help me. We'd all work together. Nice variety show. And there's Michael and me. And as you'll notice, I'm playing the tambourine. I didn't play the guitar yet, because Michael did. He had a 12-string, as you see, and I remember one song we were doing that do 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 do. Well, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Remember those songs? Yeah, way back then. Okay, and there we are, and again, and Michael's playing the 5-string banjo, and I have to tell you that I almost brought that banjo today because I am the heir to that banjo. His family gave me that banjo. And it's unbelievable. I look at like that's part of my history. You know, way back 18 years old. And I just couldn't believe it. So, and I was a drummer. I studied piano, but I loved the drums. So there I was. So we took those drums and we had these big wooden crates. People threw them up on all the guys, the soldiers had to throw them up on the plane, and those wooden crates, can you imagine how heavy they were? I never thought about that until just preparing for this. I thought that was like, imagine what we could do now, right? And there's a group at the end singing a song together. I think we might have been actually at Elmendorf Air Force Base here, but we were at so many remote places I never knew the names of them. And then after that, I had just won Miss Twin Falls, so then I went into the Miss Idaho pageant. Michael played behind me, behind the curtain, and accompanied me. And then he got drafted into the Marines. And so there again, see, I'm still just a drummer. And this was my actual competition performance at Atlantic City at the Miss America pageant. I was singing, and then I played a drum solo. They had this on wheels, see that? So cool. And a drummer here in Boise helped me put together this really impressive, like, double bass solo, you know. And I thought it'd be the coolest thing. And guess what? Miss Texas that year was a drummer. And I'm thinking, and we looked so much alike and wore our hair the same that people were turning to her picture, asking me to sign it, turning my picture, asking her to sign it. It was funny, of all times. And there I am. And this young lady right there, Pamela, I can't remember her name, I'm so sorry, last name, but she won Miss America that year. And ironically with this year, I mean, she looked like the Gabors. So I thought, wow, that photogenic face. I wasn't one bit surprised. So, and then with Montana, of course, there's Montana. And South Dakota, and then Idaho. So, let's see here. Here's what they sent out to the troops. And so, this is telling them who's coming. And this was Vietnam, Thailand, right there, and Loya, a singer. This was the Miss Idaho before me. I had introduced her to Eugene. She was a wonderful magician. And so, and Brent Johnston has a restaurant called Brenthoven's. He's an incredible pianist. Brenthoven's down in Alpine, Wyoming. And we've gotten reunited. It's really exciting. Whoops. Sorry, this was heading off. We were getting on the plane to head off to Vietnam. And Eugene's wife, Virginia, she was like, wow, the support behind everything. And here we were, just a 5-piece troop to Vietnam. That's all we had. And this was when we got there. They issued us fatigues, and there I am right there. And there's Eugene. He was an amazing manager. I don't know how he did it. And I didn't fully appreciate him then. You don't when you're young. You don't understand what all of the adults with all the wisdom are doing, correct? You all remember. But gosh, I see these pictures and I'm so grateful. Loya's sitting here with the gunner on the Hueys. But this is what we would do. We would fly in Vietnam in the choppers. And so I just wanted to let you see what we would see. And there was VC Mountain. I'm sure a lot of you know VC Mountain. And I just threw that in there. This was, I can't remember if this was Nha or Cam Bay. But this was, there was water back there, see? It was real pretty. And did I hear someone say Cam Bay? Okay. And so this was the little place that we got to stay. It was like, wow, we were so excited. Look at this. We got a hut here. This is so nice. And so us 3 girls stayed in there. Whoops, sorry. And so I took a picture there to show that was where the hut was, and there was all that beautiful water back there. And then, again, this is, you can see all the shows that they would be coming in. There's ours, right there. And this young lady, I think her last name was Bourdonnais, she met us, I believe this was, it was Cam Bay. And so I've always wondered whatever happened to her. I hope she made it out safely because she worked for the Americans. This oil drum is there because some young gal wanted to wash her hair and there was no water. And growing up taught to be resourceful, I thought, oh look, all that water in there, and it was kind of dark out, so I threw my head upside down that water and I thought, great, I can wash my hair. And then I guess one of the officers came and said, young lady, that's a oil drum. There was oil on the side of that. Oh no. So they were all running around. You know how us girls sometimes can cause tizzies, right? So they're all running around looking for water for me to get that, all the goop out of my hair. And there I was feeling silly, just showing, okay guys, I'm so sorry, this is so silly. And there was during a performance, and another performance, whoops, another performance. Oh, it keeps going, okay. Somewhere, and I couldn't find it for today, the best picture was, from my view, I have a picture as though I'm looking at you of all the guys sitting there, and I've got to find that picture because that's the best picture from my point of view, you know. And then this young man was so nice, wanted me to sign something here. Guys were pulling out dollar bills to have me sign them. I thought that was so sweet. And then our group, after a show, we're all eating. We did that a lot. We traveled, ate, performed, slept. Traveled, ate, performed, slept. So it could sound kind of boring. In Vietnam, as we got back from one of our tours, shows, right near the last part of our tour in Vietnam, we had an invitation, each one of us, and it was to have dinner with General Abrams. And I'm telling you, that was unbelievable. And I'm so grateful now because I realized we were representing you. At the time, I almost felt guilty. because I thought, we shouldn't be here. The guys should be here. But as I've gotten older, I realized, well, we were representing you. So he was very kind, very, very kind. And there was the invitation. I'm so glad that as a young person, I had the presence of mind to save it, you know. And I received this certificate of appreciation from the Department of Defense for United States Military Assistance Command Vietnam for the USO work. That's on my wall at home. And this one also, I appreciate. This is one of many from VVA, Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 500 in Sacramento, which Ron and I joined in 1992. And we'd sing every Veterans holiday. We had memorial services or celebrations or parades. Honestly, not a lot of people came to the parades. It was really sad, but we had them anyway. And so this chapter is still going, and we're very proud of it. And now I'm associate member of Vietnam Veterans of America for Chapter 1025, Treasure Valley, Chapter 1025, that Senior Master Gunny talked about. And here's one to the Mediterranean in Europe. Now when we hear about things with Turkey, we were in Turkey, had a scary experience in Turkey. But as you can see the kind of clothes we were wearing, now I look back and think of the way the ladies were dressed then. Honestly, we must have looked like ladies of the night walking around in Turkey, right? But you don't change your wardrobe everywhere you go. You just, we had 35 pounds and my guitar weighs 15. Girls, you know how hard that would be, right? 20 pounds is all I had. Makeup, rollers, you know, all that kind of stuff, clothes and stuff. So you didn't change your clothes every place you went. And this was on the USS Holland outside, and it was really awesome. And whoops. Oh, forward. Sorry. There it is, USS Holland. And there was one of the tags on my luggage. Isn't that fun? I'm so glad I still have it. And here's one from different views. Barry and I were wondering how the photographer did that, weren't we? And there's little chubby cheeks there playing the drums. And I will tell you, I did it very skillfully because we had mini skirts. So I took the snare and I sat there like this, you guys. That snare was right there. And yeah, and one time at one show I was setting up the drums and a young guy came up to me. He was just so sweet. He goes, "Excuse me, miss, but when you bend over, be careful." And this was another picture of the tour. We were in Thailand at this time. And I just think that's right. The China News, Taiwan. And Seoul, Korea. We were at an event there honoring USO. And another performance. And a young lady playing drums. There was a four-piece girl band. They were all like 18 years old from Utah. Keep in mind, see now why I appreciate Eugene Jeleznik? Can you imagine any of you men right now managing a troop of 7 and 5 of them are young women? Oh my goodness. I mean, we're demanding, we don't know it, right? Oh, I want to go shopping. Oh, we're here, there's a PX here, can we go? We want this and that. It was fun though. He was so sweet. So, just different pictures. And then as the years went by, after USO, after having that opportunity to travel literally around the world, everywhere from Morocco and Turkey to, Hawaii, the Marshall Islands, Alaska, Vietnam, Korea, Philippines, Okinawa, all over the place. I continued on because I knew from the time I was real little, music was my thing. That was who I was. I couldn't imagine not doing it. So there I was as a professional entertainer, And then I'm in California, and I meet a guy who's more of an Idaho boy than a lot of Idaho boys. I meet this country boy with, his family has Tennessee roots, and he's a horseman, and he's a bear hunter. And I told my friends, if anybody wants to impress me, do not have them take me to dinner. Tell them, don't take her to dinner. That is not my thing. Let's do something, right? Just do something. And so there's Ron. And so we'll be married 29 years, and every year we'd go bear hunting. That's how we took our vacations, and we still go hunting. And I finally got, this was on our wedding day, by the way. Didn't we look great back then? And then so with chapter 1025, for those of you who heard about the Vietnam Veterans Memorial being dedicated on Memorial Day, it was chapter 1025 that spearheaded that, got it all put together. And Gordy, in his dress uniform, did the missing man table. He does it so beautiful, you know. And you know how touching that is, and when they're moving. And so this was at the memorial. Now I got my first set of camos in Idaho after hunting all these years. I was so excited, you guys, and they were so fun. Now I understand, ladies, when the guys want their gear, let them get it, because now I realize it made hunting so much better. And I love it. And you see, I'm packing. I'm proud of that. You see? See my little 357 Magnum? Woohoo! And there we are. And I saw that whip, and I said, here, honey, feminists aren't going to like this. Take that whip and act like you're whipping. Okay, get her going, see? So this is Ron and me. In front of our little razor we have so much fun in, and off we go, and off into the sunset, so to speak. But that's kind of like who I am. So I hope that's halfway interesting to you guys, because I'm not really a speaker, but thank you so much. Is that okay? Thank you. Thank you.
What happened to the black hair?
I beg your pardon?
What happened to the black hair?
Well, it's kind of like my mother. I'll tell you a little thing my mom said years ago. She had black hair. And she said, well, you know, after a while it gets easier to darken the light ones than it is to lighten the dark, or whatever, you know. But the fun thing is, these days, highlights are fun, aren't they, ladies? So, but anyway, I hope you'll allow me the opportunity to sing a song or two. I beg your pardon? Oh, Martin, thank you. This is Martin. Martin, meet everyone. Everyone, meet Martin. He's a Martin D28. The reason Michael Wendling, my god brother that I told you about, I realized when we lost him last year, then I really realized how profoundly he had influenced my life and always believed in me, and just encourages you like a brother, tells you the truth, you know. I'm very verbose sometimes. Sometimes you say, oh, Diana, just shut up. Okay? But Michael taught me how to play the guitar. When he got drafted, and I had just won Miss Idaho, he said, get yourself a guitar, I'll go with you. So in Twin Falls, we went to the music store, and we ordered my Martin D28. And I bought it, case and all at that time. Of course, we had to get a new case. Ron got one for me. $367 for my Martin D28 guitar back in 1968. Or 69, whatever that was. But Michael said, decide whether you want a flat pick or finger pick. And he was unbelievable, you guys. He's really a prodigy. I said, I want to do what you do. Another musician saying, don't we all, didn't we all, right? So he taught me how to do a pick, and concert and pick, and I went from there. I'd learn like one song at a time so that I could get up and maybe have 2 songs, right? So here's one we did on USO. He didn't teach me the mistakes. Those are mine on my own. There's a young man that I know who just turned 23. And he comes from down in southern Idaho. I like to change words in songs. Just out of the service, and he's looking for his fun. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. My parents cannot send him, 'cause he rides the rodeo. Father says that he will leave me crying, but I will follow him right down the toughest road I know. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. When he comes on my phone, ain't got a bad word to say. That is 'cause he was just as wild in his younger days. So blow you old northern, blow my love to me. He's driving in tonight from Paris, Tennessee. He loves his darn old rodeo much as he loves me. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. When he comes on my phone, ain't got a bad word to say. Maybe it's 'cause he's just as wild in his younger days. So blow you northern, blow my love to me. He's driving in tonight from Paris, Tennessee. He loves his darn old rodeo much as he loves me. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'll accept that with the grace. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Am I doing okay on time? Huh? Okay. Because you know what? I really want to do this song for you, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody. But it's one of the songs when I got reunited with Brent down in Alpine. He looked at me and I didn't know this. It was so touching. He said, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Yes, ma'am." And he said, "Yep, Eugene always said after the first bar," and he says, "and she goes into yes, ma'am," he said, "the show belongs to her." And you know, I had no idea that, you know, that he felt that way. It just, I was so touched. So I've kind of been practicing a little, like, let's see. Yeah. I really need a good bass player up here, okay. It was written by Leona Williams, who was an ex-wife of Merle Haggard. I love this song. Yes, ma'am. Whoops. Start over again. Okay. Yes, ma'am. He met me in a honky-tonk, and I'm sure I'm not the kind of girl you want your son to know. Oh, the guys love this song. Yes, ma'am. I know you think that it's all wrong, and if he felt the way you do, I go back where I belong. Oh, I know he deserves the best, and there are better girls than me. Oh, please don't quarrel with me, 'cause that song. Of course, you guys, you remember what it was like. You're away from home and you hear a song like that. And back in our days, right, moms were worried. How many of you guys had some, and you don't have to raise your hand, but how many of you guys had your mom say to you, don't be bringing somebody home? So they love that song. It's so nice to talk to people who we can understand the reference, right? Sing along, please, if you'd like. And I've got to tell you also, when Senior Master Gunny mentioned the Hueys, Sue, I hope this doesn't get anybody in trouble, but I have a very treasured picture now because I was allowed to sit in that Huey and take a picture because we used to ride on them all the time. And there was something spiritual about that, sitting in that Huey. So thank you. I hope that doesn't get anyone in trouble. God bless America. Land I love, stand beside and guide through the night with a light from above, from the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. And I have a verse, I didn't turn the page. Barry, could I impose upon you to turn the page just so I don't forget a word? Oh, that's all right here. Yeah, keep going this way. This way. Again, yeah, the next orange. Next orange. The next orange. There you go. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sure that made you nervous. It's like, what am I doing? You did a great job. Let's give Barry a hand. And this is for all of you. God bless our veterans, those whom we love, where we send them, defend through your power and grace from above. Give them safety by your mercy as our prayers and praises ring. God bless our veterans, to thee we sing. God bless our veterans, let freedom ring. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of green, for purple mountain majesty, above thy fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Once more, and let the angels in heaven hear us, including Kate Smith. Remember how she sang that? Oh my goodness. all together. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains of Idaho to the prairie, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, our home, sweet home. God bless America, our home, sweet home. God bless America and God bless you. Thank you.
Wow. Woohoo! We love this country. We love you. This is a gift for you from the Warhawk Air Museum, just your own coin. So enjoy. Carry it with you. It certainly represents freedom. That was awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here to share this with Diana and Ron and all of you. By the way, how many people here are Vietnam veterans? Wow, a big group of you. How many are World War II veterans? You're a big group. And how many are Korean veterans? Lots and lots of these. So glad, I'm so happy to have all of you here. Are there any younger current serving men or women here today? What about any of you that served in Africa, the Middle Eastern wars? Yeah, we have a few. Yeah, we do have a few. So you all have a wonderful month. It's going to be cold and snowy in Idaho, and so we will look forward to seeing you next month again, and enjoy the season. Thanks.